So he was on his way out.
Second serve.
And yet rallied and then won an 11-10 tiebreaker the next day against Chip Morales.
Amazing. Lots of bright handball for these young stars in the future.
Well, it was Danny Cordova, not quite as fortunate. He was an All-American this year, as you were, for 4 years at Lake Forest. He's just a freshman this year, but Danny lost to Vic Perez in the round of 32 in his first round.
5 serves 4.
So Danny's still looking for that big pro breakthrough.
First one's always the toughest.
Hold it, hit him on the way in.
That's true.
5 serves 4.
Now let me ask you, Samantha, this is something that I've just thought about. The USHA, as we know, pays for the top Americans to go to the World Championships. Now in the men's draw here, and possibly in the women's,
6 serves
but
4.
we know for sure in the men's, it's Paul Brady taking on Charlie Shanks in the final. So there's no Americans in the final.
Yeah.
Now 2 Americans lost in the semifinals. Now does that mean that they split those trips for the 2 Americans that advanced to the semifinals, or do they then go by the rankings?
4 serves 6.
If I was the USHA, I would go by who did best in the draw at the Nationals.
So you have two Americans. So do you pay for half their trip each?
Well, I was under the impression they were sponsoring
5 serves 6.
Well, they're only sponsoring the guy who made it farthest in the singles and the team that made it farthest in the doubles.
I would just have to have a playoff.
6 serves 6.
I like that.
Yeah, just head to head, see who gets it.
Is that within this event, or is that sort of a pre-planned, exhibition match, webcasted in a month or 2?
Second man.
Build up, promoted.
Yeah, that one.
Neutral court, or
6 serves 6.
higher ranked player get the home court? How does that work?
Neutral.
Neutral.
You
Okay.
gotta go where. Also, it might help to go a place where there's a lot of fans and a good viewing gallery.
So maybe come right back here in a month and just play it off.
Why not? It's
6 serves 6.
It's a win-win for handball and the USHA. Almost like a pay-per-view match. We'll get some boxing in the halftime, things like that.
That would be a lot on the line, representing your country in that
Quite
free
an honor
trip.
as well.
Replay. Oh,
I know.
sorry. Point.
Samantha, you're from
Side
Canada.
out.
You represent Canada. Now, does Canada pay your way to the Worlds because you won the Canadian Nationals?
I don't believe that sort of thing has been
6 serves 6.
in the works.
Well, let me give you Rob Riccacci's email. Let me send him an email. I'll CC you on that, and we'll get that taken care of.
All right, I appreciate
right
that.
away.
Thank you. Yeah, this is an exciting year to be the Canadian champ.
You make sure that
6
you let
serves
Rob
6.
Riccacci know that you're going to need a pretty big suite because you want to be comfortable,
That's right.
well fed. And Armando goes down to one knee there, Samantha, and rolls that ball 2 inches high. And I expect that we'll see this
6
match
serves 6.
very close throughout 3 games.
All right, calling it now, are we?
Replay.
What do you think of John's sort of head throwback? I don't know what you'd call that on the serve. As soon as he's making contact with the ball, his head flies back. I've never seen another player do that.
Oftentimes his whole body swings around too, as if he's trying to get more power on the ball by rotating everything he has. Almost as if he leaves the ground and jumps into the ball. And it seems to be working though. He does generate tremendous power on the serve.
Replay.
Well, Samantha, thanks so much for stopping by. It was truly an honor to have you here in the booth. We're going to wish you luck
Thanks so
in
much,
your
Dave.
semifinals of the singles tomorrow,
Yep.
your quarterfinals of the doubles
Ball.
today,
Yep.
and we'll certainly be following
Second
you,
serve.
keeping everyone updated. So we'll let you go ahead and get ready for your match,
Thank you, Dave.
and we'll be giving our fans updates as I'm here shirtless in the booth. Didn't know they were coming to me.
Treat for the fans back at home. Well, good luck webcasting, and I'm sure the fans at home are looking forward to the rest of this match. It should be outstanding.
Well, I would say thank you for your analysis, but I don't think we ever talked about the match.
Not really, no.
But thanks for being here.
Talk to you later.
here, the gallery starting to get behind
7-6.
the hometown favorite here, Armando Ortiz. It is completely sold out here.
Replay.
They had to stop selling seats yesterday. All the seats have been sold. The show court here
7-6.
seats about 200 people, and there's an overflow room outside in the cafe where the matches are being broadcast live on a 55-inch HD TV. There's reportedly 150 people in that cafe. The fire department has been summoned. They're trying to clear out. They're trying to actually create another overflow room to accommodate all the fans trying to watch. Our referee is Nelson Quintero, who's a frequent sparring partner of the server, Jonathan Iglesias, both guys living in Miami. Nelson refs a lot of matches. Nelson formerly ranked in the top 20 on the championship series, but losing here in the round of 32 and then losing in the semifinals of the 35 and over senior singles. And that time that ball just squelches out. Danny Cordova with an awkward swing with his left hand. Nelson almost had to call a hinder on the teammates as Luis and Danny running into each other.
6-9. Long ball. Second serve.
And Armando just a little bit off there, half a step late. Got a little bit too tall.
7-9.
Trying to hit that kill shot and comes up just short. That's a very good serve by Danny. Great double serve. And then Luis cleans up the setup as the Cordova brothers now cutting into this
8-9.
3-point lead that Ortiz and Iglesias built, now just trailing by 1. Brothers, I believe, have a huge advantage if they're able to coexist in there playing doubles, because brothers have that sort of innate sense where each other likes the ball, how to play together. They generally mesh very well together. 2 sets of brothers entered in the pro doubles here. It's Luis and Daniel Cordova receiving serve here, and also Breyer
9-8.
and Brant Bittigan. And Armando with a beautiful kill. Has enough strength to face the front wall.
10-8.
And roll the ball just about an inch high.
Short ball. Second serve.
Great ceiling shot there from Luis Cordova. It's very difficult
10-8.
to take that ball off the back wall in the left corner. Dark spot back there. And Armando just not letting the ball drop there. Very indecisive. And a terrible air there.
8-10.
Awkward play there as Jonathan Iglesias is
9-10.
off balance. We anticipated a close match, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. Very long first game also, and we're only halfway through it. We've got 3 amazing get artists in the court right now. Armando Ortiz, not necessarily known as a get artist, more of a shot maker, but
9 serves 10.
with Luis Cordova and Danny Cordova and Jonathan Iglesias, these guys can pick up just about everything. And you see it right there as Jonathan keeps the rally alive. Jonathan is one of the most requested right side doubles players in the game. He's got those amazing quick hands and reflexes, get ability.
Replay. Nine serves 10.
And Luis takes something off of that right corner kill. Jonathan flat-footed there, he was expecting a drive.
10 serves 10.
And now we're tied at 10, right back where we started. It's a game to 11. First to 21 here. And Armando tries to take the ball to the ceiling, but just didn't put enough on it. That ball sits up in the mid-court. And Luis Cordova takes care of it with
11
ease.
serves 10.
Now it's the Cordovas taking their first lead.
Ten serves 11. Bad bounce. We're gonna replay that. It was a bad bounce.
Listen in here.
Replay. 10 serves 11. Eleven.
Armando does not quite have the snap on the ball that we're used to seeing. Don't think he's had the court time or the exposure to this pace
12 serves 11.
under tournament conditions
Short.
in a couple of months. It takes a while
Second serve.
to get that timing back. That's why in baseball, these guys go to spring training for 6 weeks. Just trying to get that feel back. Once you've lost it, it does take a little bit of time
No, that wasn't short.
to come back.
It was a good ball. 12 serves 11.
Now it's Ortiz and Iglesias back in the lead. Armando misses the ceiling badly there, but Luis Cordova with no shot as that ball ran straight down the left wall. Jonathan digs that ball, but flips it way off the back wall. Gives Luis Cordova a huge setup. He drives it right back at Jonathan
12.
and forces the hand air.
Twelve serves 12. 13 serves 12.
Now Cordova's back in the lead here. This match has been nip and tuck, back and forth throughout.
Timeout. Timeout. 14 serving 12.
And we're going to take a quick 60-second timeout here as we have our first break in the action. We'll be back in just 60 seconds. Stay tuned.
14 serves 12. Short ball. We don't have linesmen. You want to be a linesman? Abraham, you linesman? Linesman? Don't matter. You want to be a linesman? You want to be a linesman? Go over there.
Earlier this afternoon,
I got one.
a lot of these fans just love to watch doubles. They love to see these long rallies, great gets.
Second serve.
We heard John Bike last night in his induction ceremony saying he actually prefers doubles, loves the team aspect of it. I know a lot of these guys feel the same way.
Fifteen serves 12. Sixteen serves 12. Replay. Replay. 16 serves 12.
Cordova's really starting to take over this match now. Surprised Armando Ortiz is playing the left, given his inactivity in the last couple of months. You'd think that Jonathan Iglesias
17 serves 12.
want to play the left. He's played considerably more handball.
Eighteen serves 12. Eighteen serves 12.
And now the Cordova's completely pulling away here. This game was tied at 12. Now it's
19 serves 12.
Cordova scoring 7 straight, just 2 points from taking this first game. And don't forget, this is the money round. The winner of this match will be in the money. The loser of this match will not be in the money. So a lot of pressure here. Also,
12 serves 19.
the highest finishing team from the United States, and all these doubles players are from the United States, with Charlie Shanks pulling out, will receive a free trip to the World Championships to represent their country. So there's prize money, there's pride, there's representing your country, there's a free trip to Ireland. A lot on the line here in this 62nd USHA Four-Wall Nationals
12
doubles
serves 19.
championship. The singles championship is set. It's the 6th-time USHA Four-Wall National Champion and 3-time defending world champion Paul Brady taking on his countryman, the man from Northern Ireland, Charlie Shanks, who's now in his 2nd consecutive major final here in the United States.
19 serves 12.
Advanced to the final of the US Open in October, where he also defeated Luis Moreno in the semifinal. And Armando had a point-blank setup there to end this rally, unable to put it away from just about the foot fault line. And Armando that time just blasting the ball right at Danny Cordova's chest and forcing the air.
19 serves 12. Serves 19.
These Cordova brothers often play 8, 10, 12 hours a day of handball in Mexico. They play not only four-wall, but they play a very physical and incredibly physically draining
12 serves 19.
game of pelota in Mexico. That's a 2-wall game. They play that with different size balls, different size courts.
Skid ball. Twelve serves 19.
The bottom line is these guys are incredibly fit. Never seen either of these guys wear down.
Replay.
Luis Cordova has
12 serves 19.
natural fitness, as does his brother. That could have been called a screen there as that ball crosses right in front of Jonathan. It looked like Danny had a play on it, but Danny doesn't complain. I've actually
serves 19.
never seen him complain about anything. All 4 of these guys, consummate professionals and gentlemen.
14 serves 19.
Now it's Jonathan and Mondo trying to work their way back into this game as
15 serving 19,
the
first
Cordovas
man.
take a timeout. And we're going to take a quick 60-second break as well. We'll see you on the flip side. Stay tuned.
Fifteen serves 19.
Welcome back after that second timeout here in game number 1. Cordova still leading 19-14.
16 serves 19.
Jonathan and Mondo now really putting the pressure on the Cordova brothers. As it looked like they had an insurmountable 19-12 lead. And Luis pins Mondo in that back left corner and forces the air. Very difficult shot to handle.
16 serves 19. Nineteen serves 16.
Danny going to that scoop shot a little bit more than I think he should. That time he takes a beautiful sidearm stroke with his left hand and rolls it out in the left corner. And now Luis and Danny will have
serve 16.
2 serves to win this first game. And somehow Danny puts that very easy fly kill into the ground.
Game point serve 16. Short ball. Appeal. I called it short. Both agree. Second serve. Sixteen serves 20. Short ball. Second serve.
Goes for the kill from the deep court with his left hand. Jonathan tries to find the right corner. Now this should be a setup for Luis Cordova. Armando does well to stay with that shot. Now he's got to set up with his left hand. Shot rally. Either team could have ended that rally a number of times, but instead it's Luis Cordova making the air on the 43rd ball. That was the longest rally of this first game, and it brings Jonathan and Armando just a little bit closer to completing an improbable comeback here.
20. For glove change.
This is a 2-minute timeout. We're going to take a quick 2-minute break. We're going to see you on the other side. Stay tuned.
That one. Right. 30 seconds. First server.
Welcome back.
17 serves 20.
You heard our referee, Nelson Quintero. 17 serving 20. This is a
Check
big
it.
comeback here from John Iglesias and Armando Ortiz. The game was tied at 12. The Cordovas raced out to a 19-12 lead.
17 serves 20.
And now it's Jonathan and Armando in on their first serve. I don't know who you'd rather be right now, serving with 2 serves at 17-20 or receiving. I think I might rather be serving here.
Second man.
We're going to have a very special guest here in the booth. Aaron, the other bombshell.
17 serves 20.
Thank you very much for joining us. Before we get to you and your progress, your devastatingly beautiful hair and beard that you have today, right now we've got a real battle here. Game number 1, quarterfinal action. Luis Cordova
Game point serve 17.
and his brother Danny now serving for the first game. This game is 1 hour and 6 minutes old.
Short ball.
This is their 3rd serve to win this first game. They raced
Second
out
serve.
to a 19-12 lead. Armando is a last-minute fill-in for Charlie Shanks. Looks a little bit rusty right now.
Battling it out up front.
And that's the first game, Aaron. It's the Cordovas taking game number 1, 21-17. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break. We didn't get a chance to really talk to you, but hopefully you'll be with us on the flip side. I know you're just sort of lounging here, but I'd love to get some of your analysis, not only on this match, but also what you've seen throughout the week and talk a little bit about your game. So we're going to see you, Aaron, and everybody else in about 5 minutes. Stay tuned.
Hey, let's change your gloves now. That one too. Yeah. Yeah, that one's good. The left. No, change the right one too. Change the right one too. It's wet here. Yeah. You agree with me or disagree with me? Okay.
Welcome back. This is David Fink alongside my esteemed guest analyst here for game number 2 and possibly game number 3 if we can keep you here, Aaron Garner. Aaron, thanks so much for joining us. I know that you had a pretty good event here. You took out Abe Montillo in the round of 32. You and I tangled in the round of 16. We had another great battle. Unfortunately for you, I came out on top, but certainly you have to feel pretty good about the way you're playing. And you're also in the doubles here, I believe, right?
Yeah, that's correct. I'm playing at 545 with my partner, Matt Steele. So
Side out.
We'll see how that turns out. We're playing a pretty tough team, but I think we should be able to win. We have good chemistry.
Okay. And you're playing Luis Moreno and Andy Net?
0-0-0.
If we win this match, that's probably who we'll run into after that.
Okay.
I think right now we're playing Vic Perez and Eddie Morales.
That'll be an excellent match, and that will be webcasted, so we're going to definitely look forward to that at 5:45. But right now, Aaron, it's Luis Cordova, who's the highest ranked player in the court right now, ranked number 7. He advanced to the round of 8 here, had a very good season, and his brother Danny, who's a collegiate All-American, taking on John Iglesias and Armando Ortiz. Now, at the beginning of this year, Aaron, it was Armando Ortiz who was the highest ranked player amongst these 4. His ranking slid a little bit. Luis Cordova climbed up. John Iglesias is trying to return to that sort of top 12
1-0
stratosphere. And Danny Cordova is still yet to qualify, but doubles is a different story. And the Cordovas have a couple of very big wins on their resume, namely Dave Chapman and Sean Lenning taking out that team in Las Vegas.
Really, I did not know that. That's a very impressive win. Usually I don't think brothers are going to do well as a doubles team because me and my brother never did well, but they actually have some very good chemistry right now. Even though I always joke with Luis, neither one of them have a left hand, but that's okay. And I think, yeah, I know Armando just got in here last second, so I think maybe him and Jonathan weren't expecting to play together, and I think, you know, whenever you have a tested team, even if it's just through one round, you have an advantage over a team that's, you know, not played together, wasn't expecting to play together either, so. Yeah, they look like they both have very good court coverage as well. I know in singles they both dig balls, both have pretty good right-hand kill shot, so yeah, definitely a very solid team.
It's interesting, Aaron, that you say that you don't think brothers play well together. I mentioned early in the first game that I thought brothers would play well together if they could manage to coexist, because it seems like brothers sort of have this innate feel for one another's game and where they like to be on the court. Am I just sort of picking that out of thin air? Is there any validity to that?
Well, I'm just No, I've had a very bad experience with my brother or brothers. Even Alex and I played together. We didn't do that well. Alan and I think we're just both trying to be the alpha dog, and Alan just likes playing singles 2-on-1 and tells you to stick over on the right side and stay out of the way. I don't know if you and Alan have ever played together, but he's extremely tough to play with. You maybe get to hit one out of every 20 balls, and if you don't hit it well. Yeah, I think we also have a license to be mean to each other because we're brothers, so we do not make a good mix. But but I think the Bidigans have actually been doing pretty well too, so maybe
one serves one.
These two teams are debunking that myth.
Alan and I did play together. We lost to Emmett Bichotte and Dave Chapman when they were the reigning national champions in 11-10, very controversial tiebreaker. And then later in that year, we played in the Nationals together where I decided that I didn't want to be there, and we got killed. I'll take 100% of the blame for that, but I did enjoy playing with them. It's always nice when your partner can flat roll the ball from everywhere on the court.
One serves one.
Pick up the ball on the third bounce and give it to your opponents. Or get back in the service box.
Yeah, it is nice. I think all about Alan, it's just all about him finding the right partner, someone who's stay out of the way for the most part, give him support up front. But I know even last time we played with the New York Athletic Club tournament, that did not go well. Even though we won, I don't think we felt too good with each other. He was just taking up the whole front court, and I don't know. We have a very poor record so far.
So you guys defeated the Bastidas.
So we're retired together. We're retired.
Retired on top, though. You defeated the Bastidas brothers, I believe, in New York, right?
Yeah,
that is a very good win.
Short ball.
That is correct.
So would that be considered the brothers' national championship right there? Those two teams? I don't know if you could find two better teams than that are brothers.
I think we're looking at two in this tournament, actually. Okay. I think Bidigans both look very solid, actually, and they both get along really well. And I think two brothers we're watching right now, they're also doing very well as well. They're both very mellow dudes, get along well. I think Alan and I have some personal conflicts.
One serves one.
I would like to see the Cordovas take on the Bastidases. That would be an interesting match.
Or the Bidigans. I think they'd all be really good matches.
We're going to see the Bidigans live on the webcast in the very next match.
It hit you? Check it.
I think they played pretty solid yesterday against Danny Bell.
Let them check it.
I think they'll do really well. Both have really good kill shots, and I think Breyer's really good with his younger brother, encouraging him and telling him to kind of calm down when he gets a bad shot. So that's always a good. It seems like they mesh pretty well together.
Now, I mentioned during the first game that there's a lot to play for in the doubles. There's the prize money for the semifinal round, and there's also a trip to Ireland to represent your country if you win this doubles championship. And that also means the pride that comes with representing your country. So really a lot of factors in play here that's going to motivate these guys. There's no one in the doubles that's still in the singles. Charlie Shanks was entered in the doubles, but he pulled out after defeating Luis Moreno, saying he wanted to just concentrate on the singles. I know you don't necessarily agree with that, but regardless, it's an All-American and Mexico here teams. And the winning team will represent the United States. Now, there is a little bit of a question mark as to what singles player will represent the United States at the World Championships. The Americans did not advance to the final here in the singles, but two Americans lost in the semifinals. So who then gets the trip? Do you split that? Do you have a playoff? Do you go by the rankings? I mean, what do you do there, Aaron?
I think you should have a playoff. I mean, this is the Nationals with a 21 ball. I don't think you should go on past achievements alone because we're not going to be playing with the Echelon ball in Ireland. So I think we should have a playoff at this tournament if possible. I don't think that's necessarily how they're going to do it. I haven't seen a third place match in a while at the Nationals, but I think that'd probably be the best course of action. And I know you've had a pretty good tournament this year, so I mean, I think that'd be very interesting. I like your chances.
I think they should just give it to the older guy.
Well, of course you would. Yeah, just giving it to you.
I mean, I'm speaking unbiasedly. You know, I didn't even know who was involved in this discussion.
Three serves three.
Moreno thinks they should give it to the younger guy who's got more upside. So, not to burst your bubble there or anything. But.
You did actually. That's the problem.
Yeah. Three serves three.
Well, score is 3-3 here in game number 2. We're sort of chit-chatting here until we get to the business end of this game. As we know, this game will be close as it gets into the later stages.
Three serves three.
Armando Ortiz has not played handball since March. his buddy Chip Morales telling me between games, he called Armando and said, hey man, I'll come and pick you up, come down here and hang out. It's a fun tournament. Armando wasn't even entered. Armando said, no, I was gonna come down anyway. He came down here and found out John Iglesias needed a partner. So he's borrowing some of Chip Morales' gloves and
3 serves 3.
Some of Dave Vincent's shirts.
Foot fault front line.
And he's in there playing.
Those would be a little bit too big for him then, huh?
Probably.
Maybe
Dave Vincent is 6'9". So.
Second serve.
And weighs 350, so.
You said that.
Side out.
Yeah, it might be 2 sizes too big. Can't believe his clothes aren't touching the ground right now. Jeez. But yeah, Armando's always a very solid player.
Well, Armando is the defending 4-wall national doubles champion with Sean Lenning. Clearly, obviously, they're not playing together this year, but that's a big championship. They defeated Emmett Pashot and Dave Chapman last year in the final. That was the first time Emmett and Dave had ever lost a 4-wall doubles match.
Yeah, not to say that title's watered down or anything, but I know I played Pashot in the semifinals, and his right arm was just a little bit too soon for him to be playing in that tournament. Right shoulder surgery, playing like a couple months after. That was actually the first time I was really schooling him in the doubles match, and it was pretty easy when a guy can't hit a kill shot. But yeah, no, Armando's a great doubles player. He always has been, and actually him and Chip are a very good team whenever they play together. I know they were both at Missouri State. They had a pretty good run. I know they at least won one doubles title. So
that's true. Armando and Chip just killed your brother and I at the Nationals 3 years ago.
Oh man,
they were amazing.
They were amazing. There was some hothead on the court that threw the match, but
well,
let's not talk about that, huh?
There's no need to talk about that.
Okay. Actually, I remember that. I think that
was
that here.
Mm-hmm.
That was here, Los Cap. Okay.
Short ball.
What isn't here at Los Cap? How many times a year are we here?
Second
Aaron?
serve.
Seems like about 10.
We were here 2 times this year, and I think this is my 4th time in the last 2 or 3 years. So yeah,
check it.
Becoming a regular venue here. It's always nice, though. It's always nice to be in Southern California. It's where most of the handball players are.
4 serves 3.
Guys like Chavez showing up. Sometimes you'll get a Munoz. It's always nice getting those guys out.
And congratulations to you cashing your first ever check here at Los Caballeros. I believe, I could be wrong, but I think this is your first time in the money. You'll also be ranked now.
Yeah, actually, I made it in the last 2 years. I made it to the round of 16. I beat Dan Armijo in Austin. Last year, I beat Flanagan, I think. I'm not really sure. I was Joe Hagan. That's me, beat Joe Hagan. Luckily, that was a smaller draw. I wasn't playing as well back then. But then, yeah, no, but this is definitely my best year, though.
But I was saying first time cashing at Los Cab.
Oh, yes, first time cashing at Los Cab. That is correct. You are correct.
It was very nuanced.
That's right. It's probably the best I've played in a while, actually. It's nice to remember what it's like to kill a ball, especially with the 21. I know I've struggled with that, so.
Well, your brother has told me that you're doing a lot of secret practicing and secret training that you're not really letting people know. You find one of those closed courts at the MAC there in Portland, your home club, the Multnomah Athletic Club, and you're just in there firing away kill shots and sealing balls, everything, every day.
Oh, every single day. Never a break, you know.
That's how you do it.
No, I just been taking baby steps, just getting down there twice a week.
3.
Hitting the ball around, playing some games. I think just hitting the 21 ball around, breaking out a new can each time, that's the big thing. You know, I think too many times people go into tournaments not playing with the right ball or playing with a series of dead balls, and they play with a really lively ball, and it's just a hard transition to make. So it's actually really nice to practice with the ball you're going to be playing with beforehand. Go figure.
3 serves 8.
Gives you a huge advantage in the long run. So. Oh, there we got a solid left-hand shot there from Daniel Cordova. You don't normally see that from the Cordova brothers. Solid left hand.
3 serves 8. Three serves 8.
You heard our score there, Aaron. It's the Cordova's pulling away early here in game number 2, leading 8-3. They won the first game 21-17. The first game was close through about the first half of the game, and then they exploded to a 7-point lead and held on for a 21-17 lead. As you know, Aaron, sometimes 21-17 isn't all that close in doubles, because doubles can be a little bit different. It's pretty hard to really get blown out in doubles. I've done it, but you know, it's unlikely.
Could be close or not today. I don't know. I haven't really been watching this match, so I'm not one to pass judgment, but I know sometimes it can be close and sometimes it can be a blowout where they scored 9 points because you were just kind of messing around at the end. So I think both possibilities are true.
8 serves 3.
I'm not an absolutist like you or Mr. Vincent.
That was a terrible serve from Luis Cordova right into Armando's wheelhouse. He loves that ball at about chest high with his left hand from the deep court. And he drilled a beautiful reverse. And now it's Armando maybe starting to heat up here, Aaron, as he hits the deck and re-kills that Luis Cordova attempted kill.
Yeah, he's definitely got the full package. Got 2 good hands, good defense, good serve. I think he's got everything he needs. Just a question of if he's been playing enough to actually keep it up for a series of this next game, which I have doubts about. It doesn't sound like he was playing too much.
Possibly he can work his way into this match. As you know, Aaron, the first game you play when you've had a layoff, it just feels like, wow, have I ever even played this sport before? And then all of a sudden it just starts coming back to you slowly. Maybe he'll hit enough balls in here where he starts to get his feel. Are you surprised, Aaron, that John Iglesias is not playing the left here, having been playing more handball than Armando? Generally, you figure that the stronger player plays the left so he can play more balls, but Armando's played the left throughout this entire match. He hasn't been quite as sharp as we're used to seeing him.
6 serves 8.
Well, you know, I'm not really sure about that. I mean, you don't want to change up your team too much. I know John's a great up front court player. I know Armando can also play really well up front too, but I think he's a little bit more comfortable in the deep where he can use his 2 hands, 2 really good hands.
6 serves 8.
He loves the deep court kill too. I mean, he's fantastic at that, probably better than he is up front. Then you got John, you know, I think he's more comfortable in the front, so, I mean, you know, I'm not really sure about that. I think we'll just see what happens, but I think they probably know best. So we'll see if they can turn it around here in this next game. Maybe if not, that's an option that'll have to happen.
Well, I agree with you, Aaron, that Armando is more comfortable killing the ball from the deep court. He hits some amazing rollouts from the deep court with both hands. Here's an opportunity here.
Oh, yeah. Looks like they're getting a little bit of momentum.
Second man.
Oh, until they did that. But
could be a pivotal miss there. It's hard to call one shot a critical miss when you're playing for 2 hours, but sometimes when you're developing that momentum and you're on a little bit of a run and you let your opponents earn a side out, it can change the momentum.
Are you alluding back to our match, or? Yeah, I think there's plenty of momentum shifts. It's harder to have a big momentum shift like this in a game of doubles. This looks like it's going to be a really close game. It really does look like Armando's starting to get uncorked here a little bit and start using some of that power he has. He's such a tough player when he's in top form. It's really a shame he had to take some time off this last year, but it's good to see him back. I heard rumors of him taking more time off, maybe a whole lifetime, but it's good that he's back and playing again. Well, and he's really getting uncorked here. He's really getting hot, and it might be time for a timeout by the Cordova brothers. This is
9 serves 8.
I think Iglesias and Armando have been in the front court serving for the last, well, it seems like the last 5 minutes.
Well, Armando is, like you said, one of the most amazing players when he gets on a roll. He's like a microwave. Once he gets heated up, there's no stopping him. I believe he's one of the toughest players in the world when he's on top of his game. And I know, Aaron, at the end of February weekender in Eugene, Oregon, that you played in, Armando Ortiz defeated Luis Moreno in that event, and he hasn't played in a tournament since, which is really surprising. Go out and beat the #1 player in the United States on the WPH Race Freight Tour, and then just
the ball hit him.
Not play any more events.
You held up your swing.
I heard he had some health issues. I'm not really sure.
In
I
the
don't know the full extent of it, but I know he was playing very, very well at that tournament. Good 2 hands. Yeah, he was
9
playing
serves,
like
8.
a man possessed. Luis was playing really well too. I mean, he was shooting really well, but I think maybe some extracurricular activities that tournament might also have had to play with that. So.
That happens.
That happens in smaller tournaments sometimes. You know, not in tournaments like this, but sometimes guys get paid to go to a tournament and have a little bit of fun. So.
Well, they certainly gave the fans a good show, whether they had fun off the court or not. I believe that was an 11-9 tiebreaker win.
I didn't see a
Yeah,
slide.
that's
He was
right.
appealing a slide.
That's right. I was actually reffing that one.
You saw a
I thought
slide?
you might be.
It was a very controversial call there near the end, apparently.
Luis
We're
Moreno
gonna replay
told me
that.
that. I don't know the extent of it. Perhaps you'll fill us in here.
Check the ball.
I think it was 9-9. And there was a ball that was short. I was watching.
Replay.
It's nice to have two linesmen to fall back on, but in this moment there was none. It was all about me, so I called the ball
9
as good.
serves, 8.
And then I think they both the players saw
One
it
ball.
as short, and I called it good. It was a crack
Second
out right
serve.
at the line. So eventually I called the point for Ortiz. And of course, they both were trying to talk to me through the glass. Neither of them came out to actually tell me what was going on. And even Armando thought it was short. So I just gave him the point, and Moreno didn't fight it too much. And then, of course, the next point, Armando was serving really well. So I think he closed it out pretty
8
quick.
serves, 9.
So, yeah. I think Moreno could have done a little bit more to speak his case, but sometimes he's a passive man. Got to speak up for himself.
That's true. Sometimes he'll make a big argument after the match is over, but really not say anything while it's
9
happening.
serves, 9.
Yeah.
So you don't really even know that he's upset.
Yeah, and I
Short
don't want
ball.
to downplay that tournament, but I mean, I think they're also both having a little bit of fun.
Second
and,
serve.
you know, winning sometimes is secondary, you know, when you're putting on a good show for the fans. Yeah.
Always feels good to get that scalp, though, when you take out the #1 player in the world. And also, Armando had never beat Luis before. He lost to him 11-10, I believe, on 2 different
9 serves,
occasions.
9.
It's brutal.
So even though it is one of those smaller tournaments, it's still a
Short
good
ball.
feeling. Now, for Luis Moreno, who's won so many tournaments, that doesn't really mean that much
Second
to him
serve.
to win a tournament like that. But
That's true. I mean, it can really improve your self-confidence if that's something you need, and I know he was really happy with the victory, but yeah, I don't know if Luis thought twice about it, but I don't think he did, because he didn't really fight that call too hard. Yeah, you know, there's nothing to take away from Armando. If you can beat Luis one match, that's one match more than, you know, I've done in the last 5-10 years. So.
But you do have a winning record against Luis Moreno. He told
That's
me
true.
that.
I'm never playing him again. We're done.
10 serves, 9.
I actually like your chances against Luis Moreno. I like your chances against pretty much everyone.
Yeah, well, except for Paul Brady. That guy's playing like a man possessed, as we found out today.
Well, I feel like having played everyone on the tour this year, all the best players in the United States, Charlie Shanks and Paul Brady. I did not play Robbie McCarthy this year, who
10
won
serves, 9.
the U.S. Open, but I feel like your brother and Paul Brady are playing the best handball, but your brother didn't have a good year on the tour. He didn't win any events, but just playing him, particularly in Seattle, is just, I mean, great handball.
9 serves,
great
10.
shot making. And, you know, I really don't understand, you know, why he didn't have more success this year. I don't know if it was maybe concentration issues or just maybe not all that focused, but in any event, I'm most impressed with those two guys. Obviously,
10 serves,
Sean and
10.
Luis, tremendous, absolutely unbelievable players. But I feel like they give you a lot more setups than Paul Brady and your brother Alan Garner.
Yeah, I think that, you know, you're hitting on something there. Alan has
11 serves, 10.
wonderful shot making, probably the best left hand in the game, in my opinion. Just can shoot from incredible angles from far away. You know, you got Paul Brady. That guy's just so well-rounded. And actually, a couple areas I think Alan's kind of weaker in. I think for a span of time, maybe a couple years ago, maybe a year ago, Alan was really developing
12
a great
serves,
serve.
10.
A lot of cracks, lots of hop. And I feel like lately he's kind of got away from that. I'm not sure if that's due to the fact that he's gained a little bit of weight or what's going on, but his shot-making ability is always tremendous.
13
But I think he
serves,
needs to work
10.
on his serve to be up to a Paul Brady caliber level of play. Because guys like Luis and Sean, you know, they might make more setups and be a little bit more crazy, but they got a serve that can
Second
make up
man.
for it real quick, and that's something players like myself need to develop. So,
Well, what's amazing to me about your brother, and something that he
13
doesn't receive
serves,
credit
10.
for, is his shot making's intelligence in the court. He just plays so smart. He's always hitting the right shots. He doesn't go for crazy shots. He passes when he should. He goes for kills when he should. He can play defense as well. Unfortunately, he didn't make it to this event. Maybe fortunate for us, we did better because he wasn't here.
Exactly.
You know, maybe, you know, I don't make the semifinals if he's here. The seeds are different, but in any event, I think he's planning on taking about a year off. I think he's told me. May not be seeing him for 6 months to a year. Hope not. But
no, I think those statements have been greatly exaggerated even by himself. You know, I know he really wants to come back. I've actually been talking to him throughout this week, telling him everyone's missing him and wonders why he's not here. So we all know he has the skills to, you know, excel at the sport. And obviously,
14
I think
serves 10.
he should be a champion one day with all the skills he does possess. But,
I agree with you.
But I think he maybe a little disheartened by this last season. You know, made some statements he's going to take a year off, but I think he hinted that he will be back in October for the next Race for 8 season.
14 serves 10.
Hopefully that will happen. You know, it'd be a shame if he doesn't. I know Alan's going through some changes in his life right now. You know, I know he's in college. You know, got a wife that he needs to be attentive to and everything. But I think, you know, whenever you're really great at something like handball,
10 serves,
I
14.
think, you know, that's a gift, and you got to be able to, you know, use your gifts.
I mean, you're doing yourself a great disservice when you have this amazing skill to do something and you don't do it, because what are you going to do? Walk on the treadmill each day? I mean, there's only so many people in the world that are so great at something that they can do it and not only enjoy themselves, but
14.
put on a great show for other people to also enjoy.
Yeah.
Alan's one of those guys.
Yeah, and I definitely think that he could, I think whenever he comes back, he'll be in a better space. I think sometimes he just gets in a negative mental space, but yeah, he'll definitely be back sooner than we all think, and I think he's already missing it. At least that's what he's voiced to me, so.
Well, you know, sometimes you say you're going to take a year off, you miss one tournament, and you can't imagine missing the next one. So it might be one of those things. And, you know, now that there aren't any more tournaments until October, it may be enough time for him to sort of regroup mentally and physically. I know he wants to get himself in a little bit better shape.
Yeah, I know he wants to get himself in a little bit better shape too, but you know, he will be back sooner than we all think, at least in my estimation. You know, handballers are just so great at making little statements about how they're gonna retire. Danny Bell, how many times has that guy retired? You know, the only one I can't think of that's ever retired is Armijo. You know, you've retired a couple times too.
Timeout. Scores 13,
maybe after every match.
serving 14,
I don't
second
know.
man.
But I think sometimes people say they're going to be gone for a while, and then they're back next
13,
tournament.
14.
I actually was gone for 9 years. You and I played a practice game in the middle of those 9 years. I actually played pretty well on that practice game. But right now it's Luis and Danny Cordova making a comeback here. They were down 14-10. It looked like Armando Ortiz and Jonathan Iglesias were on their way to forcing a tiebreaker here, but now it's the Cordovas cutting into this lead, now just trailing by 1. They're 8 points
Hey, Tom.
from the semifinals and the money round and the chance of representing the United
battery
States.
to the mic
Now,
is dead.
I don't
battery
know
to
if
the
these
mic is
guys,
dead.
we sort of talked about this with the singles, I don't know if these guys would be representing the United States if they won this event because they're from Mexico.
13-14. They won the first.
Oh, you know, I'm not really sure about that. I know they're both going to college in the U.S., and I know that Luis is actually planning on joining the Air Force sometime soon. So
Okay.
I'm assuming they would, you know, be the representative from North America or, you know, wherever.
Okay, time in.
At least that's what I would assume, but, you know, they still have a long ways to go, and there's some very tough teams. Andy Net, Luis Moreno, I mean, how can they not be the favorite? You know, these guys both have great serves, great two-hand shooters. I don't know how their chemistry on the court will work together, because I don't know who will be the more dominant player. Maybe they'll take turns, but I think that's got to be the favorite team. So, you know, even starting to worry about that problem with the team from Mexico.
I'm worried about all the teams. I want to give everyone their shot, make sure that, you know.
14 serves 13.
Oh, definitely. Well, I think one thing at a time. Luis brothers make it. I mean, Luis brothers. Cordova brothers make it there, and then we'll worry about that then. But we got quite a bit of work ahead of them. We got to win this game, finish this off, and beat another couple tough teams. So it's not looking like they might even win this game.
14 serves 13.
I think what we're seeing right now is we're seeing a lot of players. I think we're seeing both teams kind of dominate the up front of the court. Remember, they're serving, making good, solid runs. That's what double is all about. They're
14
getting the service
serves
spot.
13.
Fox making 7+ points. They're both doing great right now.
Long ball.
Armando getting a little wild there on his serve.
Second serve.
Armando double faulted in his last inning here.
Well, that's
And that's
Side
his
out.
second double fault of the game. I don't know if that's the announcers. We call that the announcers cursing. You're actually cursing them while you're saying it.
Oh my goodness.
So that's what just happened
13
there.
I was
serves
getting ready to say
14.
you called that. As soon as he pulled it the second time, I was thinking,
Point.
oh, that's a beautiful serve
I
by
call a
Danny.
good serve.
That was well over
Both
the
agree.
line.
Point.
Aaron, that looked like it was about 6 inches over the line. I'm not sure what Jonathan was
14,
seeing there.
14.
I think he was looking back and seeing one of the linesmen was asleep, you know? Take his chances. Oh,
Second man.
Luis gives one back right there.
You know, Aaron, what I'm seeing now from all these top players, Paul Brady,
14,
Sean Lenning,
14.
those two guys in particular, on the second serve, they just go for it. They're going for aces. I mean, Paul Brady hit 6 or 7 second serve aces today going for cracks. And before, the conventional wisdom was, you know, you hit a Z serve as a second serve, maybe you hit some kind of 2-wall lob. But players are finding out you can't win points
15,
hitting those serves.
14.
So you have to actually go for those second serves. So I think, you know, a double fault is not all that big a deal because you can't afford to just pop the ball into play and hope that your opponent, you know, just hits a neutral rally ball, because a lot of times they're putting on your heels or ending the
16,
rally with those weak
14.
serves.
Yeah, I think definitely in doubles, you know, the name of the game is hit the ball hard, take control of the rally. I don't think a double fault's ever excusable. You should be able to hit a hard serve without getting a double fault, but I do think that's the name of the game these days, though, is to be a little bit more offensive. You know, you see all these players taking a lot more chances. Serves are a little bit, you know, harder to get. This 21 ball is much more lively. And it's hard to play defense, I think, as a lot of pros are finding out, especially David Chapman before he went into retirement. You know, those dump balls, that kind of game just doesn't work anymore.
I agree with you.
The ball will stay up and you have to put it down, you know.
I have had a few people coming up to me, you know, more of the average
16,
level player
14.
and saying, you know, I've noticed a huge change in the style of pro handball in the last 10, 15 years till now. You know, he said, the guy who was telling me, you know, I'm a racquetball player and we're used to seeing the racquetball players play offense on every shot. He said, handball looks the same way now. There's no more hitting the ball to the ceiling, and you know, guys are just driving the ball hard with both hands and low and going for it pretty much from everywhere on the court. And I know that you're a defensive specialist, but even you're having a hard time playing those ceiling rallies now.
Point.
Yeah, it's something that I think you just do it, you know, and try to keep it off the back wall as best you can.
14.
I feel like, you know, ever since I've been playing the sport, since I was really young, the ball was a little bit more dead than it was now. And
Side
I grew
out.
up watching Chapman. Oh, that is, it's not one you want to miss. Jeez. I know since I've been growing up playing, though,
14
the ball
serves,
was dead
17.
and it's gradually got progressively more and more lively. Yeah, your style of game has to change. You cannot be a defensive specialist anymore. You have to develop a power serve like everyone else. It's a way to, of course, score some quick points. So.
I don't think we're going to see another player that plays the Chapman style again that's able to win. And Chapman's obviously a once-in-a-generation, once-in-a-lifetime player, but I'm not sure that there's going to be somebody that can come along and develop those kind of shots with this kind of ball and the kind of pace that's being used now. Chapman was able to sort of adapt as the players got a little bit stronger and still implement some of those shots, but even he had to play more offensive in the last couple of years.
I completely agree.
14
that
serve,
type of
17.
game is just outdated now. Unless we go back to a ball that's much more heavy, it's not worth it. It's not worth it anymore. And you know, you're eventually going to find a player who can make you pay. I think the way the future is well-rounded players like my brother and
15
probably
serves,
Paul Brady.
17.
Yourself.
But more so Paul Brady. You know, that guy's got the full package right now.
He's the best I've ever played. I don't know if you've ever had the opportunity to play him, but he's absolutely tremendous.
Oh, I think Luis Cordova's catching fire here, hitting some great kill shots with his right hand.
You know, what's frustrating, we talked a little bit about the defensive style that's kind of passe now.
serves, 15.
There's times when you have a shot where you're not sure if you should shoot it or play defense, and you elect to play defense. You hit a pretty good ceiling ball and it just gets flat killed right in your face. There's nothing more frustrating than that. You passed up a kill, and now you've got
serves,
what
15.
you thought was a pretty good defensive shot, and you're out of the point.
Yeah, I definitely think even passes, you know, it's kind of becoming difficult to hit a good pass, and a lot of balls come around the back wall that, you know, normally wouldn't be a good, you know, good pass down the left with natural hit and catch in the sidewall, but you know, you got to put the ball down with this ball, and I think if you miss hit your kill and it's high, it's going to be a good pass. So
19 serves, 15.
Scoreboard's wrong here, Aaron. It's 19-15. It's the Cordovas 2 points away from the money round. 2 points from winning this match. Armando with a couple of very loose airs, giving the Cordovas the 18th and 19th points. And Luis goes for the bottom board there. and Armando with another air. And this is where that lack of play really gets exposed. Late in the game when there's a little bit more pressure,
match point,
and you
serves
just don't
15.
quite have that timing that you need, and you start making a few errors.
Yeah, and that's just inexcusable whenever you're on defense in the back to be shooting that loosely from the back court. You got to play work a little bit harder for your setup.
Well, that's the kind of shot maybe you go for when you're serving, right, Aaron? But when you're receiving, your opponent's coming up to match point, you can't just put the ball on the ground.
Replay.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, that's the thing about doubles. When you're on the back, you're on defense. Whenever you're up front, you're going on offense. And I think this is our uncharacteristic
point
errors.
serves
I think
15.
we've been playing a little bit more. Or had a match to warm up with, he wouldn't be shooting this much from deep this late in the match.
But this is Armando's style, and I've played him a lot. And when he's on fire, there's nothing to stop him. But if he's a little bit off, he keeps going for the same shots, and you've won easily. And then you can play him a week later, and he's just absolutely lights out on fire.
Yeah, well, I think you got to go with the day, and today doesn't look like he's on fire at this moment. But I guess that could change. Highly doubtful.
And that was another slight mishit from Armando. But we haven't talked a lot about Danny, Aaron Cordova. He's the youngest guy in the court. He's handling himself very well. He's got a lot of big match experience, and it's only a matter of time before he breaks through. I think.
Replay.
Good call
I think
by the ref there.
you and Danny, Aaron, are on my short list of guys to break through in the next 12 months.
Match point serves 15.
I look for you to break into that top 8, actually. That's a lot of pressure on you, but I look for Danny to break into sort of that top 15 in the next 12 months. And you guys could actually become rivals here in the next 4 or 5 years, as well as his brother Luis, who's already in that top 8.
Oh, and I think that's meant right there.
And Aaron, I want to thank you very much for stopping by here. I know that you're getting ready for your match and looking forward to your doubles later today, but very insightful commentary from you. We've really enjoyed it, and I know all of our fans at home did as well. But it's Luis and Danny Cordova taking out the number 2 seed, well, at least half of the number 2 seeds. It's John Iglesias and his replacement partner Armando Ortiz, who also happens to be the 4-wall defending national champion. 21-17, 21-15. Up next, it'll be myself, David Fink, and Sun Lee taking on Breyer and Brant Bittigan. So stay tuned. We'll be back with live action in just about 15 minutes. For Aaron Garner, I'm David Fink. Catch you in 15. Thank you.
$7,000 high school students drop out every school day. That's a line of desks more than 4 miles long. We can keep students in school. Visit boostup.org and take the first step.
Up, college is hard. Down, those books are heavy.
My sport is football, but my passion is education.
Right up here.
So every year, I take promising high schoolers on a college tour
Lights there, darts there.
to show them that higher education means a brighter future. My name is Nnamdi Asamoah. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
You can be a reader, tutor, or mentor too. Take the pledge at liveunited.org/volunteer.
Do you wear this?
What if a disaster strikes without warning? What if life as you know it has completely turned on its head? What if everything familiar becomes anything but? Before a disaster turns your family's world upside down, it's up to you to be ready. Get a kit, make a plan, be informed today. Learn how at ready.gov.
So, what's it gonna be? We could ride bikes, skating, movies, zoo, whatever you guys want to do.
Can we just do this?
Yeah. We could just do this.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.